Hi, Virgo. All right, welcome to this place. Welcome back if you're returning. All right, Virgo. Well, happy birthday in sidereal and Vedic astrology. Tropical 2, energy is coming back to you, right? It's the very beginning of something. No need to rush, but definitely, I keep seeing the light of the sun. The light of the sun coming into you. Balancing the heart and the mind. That's what's been happening. That's what's happening. For a little while longer, that's kind of a key point. So I chose the same 3 piles and 3 decks that I did for Pisces. Let's see what your first one is versus looking at your map right now. Let's see, Virgo. Nishta. I think that's why I don't fully submerge myself. One of the reasons I don't fully submerge myself in learning certain things, because I know that it's like something in me stops me. But that's for good reason, because I'm learning about so many other things. Okay, is this like a conversation you're having with yourself? Maybe you're reciting this. You need to recite this. So this star is about the power to give abundance and even fame. That also has to, but the way Rahu is, the fame is not important. It's the power to give abundance. What's that with? The moon? Well, I see other people are really important. You're about to learn a big spiritual lesson. It's a big, slow spiritual lesson. Well, I heard if it hasn't happened yet, will it ever happen? Pardon me. Well, this is a bit of Mars in Cancer. So I guess we're talking about now, say through next spring. Maybe now till next February. There's also something to celebrate. There will be something to celebrate when Mars goes through Cancer. Which is interesting because that's not a comfortable place to be in. What did we say? There will be something to celebrate when Mars goes through Cancer. So again, I guess there will be some sort of celebration. I guess we're going over it. There will be some sort of celebration between now and two to 5 months. Something now until next April too. It's interesting you're looking at times, but that's good. It's good to be aware of, and then we can let go of that, right? I want you to be brave or to feel brave. It's interesting to Danishta. I hope I'm saying that right. So she's a servant of the ether. Like she's a spiritual servant. if you will, female particularly, or has feminine energy around it. You can work with this energy as a male. And I was thinking about that the other day, like how important, I mean, ladies, I heard, ladies, I love you. But it's like, it's so important, the men that are here too. And how much of an honor it is to have such respectable men and women in the circle, you know? Because this energy talks about going upward. And then if you see her body language, she is also moving upward, which is kind of like this Gemini Aquarius is moving up towards Mars and the moon. So some of you had a bad dream, or you woke up, and I'm seeing where someone woke up from a dream and then they went outside and it was nighttime and they were looking up at the sky. Or like maybe they couldn't sleep, I don't know, but they went outside and they were looking up at the sky, and it's like I don't know if they cursed what they saw, but at very least it shifted something. I mean, this has come different times through different energies. So like sometimes again it was well, I'm seeing the words happiness and fear very close to one another. Certain music is going to put a person on alert. Someone may be sensitive to sounds right now. Frequencies, if you will. Well, I'm going back to that word fame. That's kind of interesting. I feel like if you looked up, I'm just pontificating here, side note. Like, I feel if you looked up the famous Virgos, if you will, or people who had a lot of Virgo, it would be like a researcher or a Buddha, some kind of monk, or, I don't know. Where self-sacrifice was involved in ways of isolation to make it happen. Do you know what I mean? But right now, the lesson is like, the lesson is more around really connecting deeply with other people. Emotionally, vibrationally, not just, say for instance, mentally. Which is your forte, right? Your homies, your homegirls, that small group is so important. When's the last time you went dancing, Virgo? I guess this is also creating with others. So the moon at times can put you on high alert. I guess you'd want to look at, I guess maybe when the moon's in Virgo this month, it could be a little touchy. And then I saw someone moving. Someone was aware of how to move something so that it was either coming toward or away from them. Like kind of whether they can make it big or small. So if worry comes in ways of abundance, or I guess fame would be in a sense respect for your time and what you do, right? Grandma makes those famous oatmeal cookies, but in ways of that, I don't feel like you need to worry. People celebrate you when you are just yourself, like more free in yourself. I mean, I love your hard edges too. Don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean? Like where it becomes, again, Virgo becomes more Pisces, it's a little bit more fluid, but it doesn't lose itself in the fog. Or I heard in the illusion of the moon. Maybe when the moon is in Pisces too. Okay, let's move ahead. What do we have next? Utra Falguni. I make everything sound Italian. The Star of Patronage. So this is 26 Leo to 10 degrees Virgo. And it has the energy of the sun. This has the power to accumulate wealth. So we were just talking about the power to give abundance, right? To give. Then this is the power to accumulate. So that you can give again. The words philanthropy and friendship are standing out to me. Someone's such a benevolent giver. It's like they're gentle and they're firm. This is also warrior energy. What were we just going through? The servant. Okay, so maybe you're meant to think bigger about what's possible. I heard without putting that all on your shoulders. What's that with? Catching blossoms. This one, hold on. Well, I guess sometimes you have to be in the right place at the right time. But most of the time, the right place and the right time is when you are happy. There was just a truck that went by that said evolution. It's like that you are happy with the evolution of your steps in life, and that you have a choice in the moment of where and how you want to do that. And it's not about what you're giving to somebody to ultimately like fulfill your soul's duty, although that's important to you, but it's more of, I heard, wow, look at this beautiful apple on this tree. It's like speaking, when you speak from your heart without any worry. Right, because the mouth speaks what the heart knows. Right, and I think that was an old reading for you. The mouth speaks. What the heart knows. There's a very heavily producing tree here. For those of you within philanthropy, or you, however your giving of abundance is, what am I seeing? Well, I'm being reminded of, I don't know where this comes from. I think it might even be in the Bible. There's like a section on taking care of like when to plant plants and like how to deal a bit with nature. And there's a part where it's like when you have a fruit tree, you leave it alone for a certain amount of years. You tend to it, but you don't pick from it. And if it does produce anything, then you usually would give it to somebody or let a person walking by like have, you know, the hungry need food, etc. Let the animals have it, things like that. And then it gets to a point where I think it's after, I want to say if 3 or 5 years, then a person can start to pull from that tree because it gave it time to mature. And now there's so many apples on that tree that one person couldn't even like really take in that. It would be too much for them even if they were prepping for the future. So it's like there's enough to give. So someone's surrounded by abundance. You don't need to worry about, someone doesn't need to worry about how they are giving. Huh. This is Shiva and Moksha too. That's kind of interesting, I guess. So that's, maybe that's coming to some sort of softer place. If something feels more liberated now, because the fear has been burned off, or is being burnt off, because I guess this is the progression. This is Beta, the star is Beta Leonis. So the second lion, maybe that's the smaller lion. Let's move forward and see how this story progresses, Virgo. Shadabisha, which is 6 to 20 degrees Aquarius. Shadabisha. This is the 100, what is this called? Like 100 healers or 100 turtles. Death. And the challenge. Oh, the story just went so... It went to society is where it went. It represents the power of healing. Is there an what Aquarian folks do you know? Just a minute. I'm trying to not be... it's like I can recognize the programming. Who talked about this? Pisces. You have the same energy where information comes in that's very affirming to what a person already knows. But I think totally accepting that truth is a little bit hard on the ego. Or like it's a little bit hard. Something's fading into the background. This is 3 generations too. Where for a lot of you, your grandparents are gone, right? Maybe one of your parents. Maybe both, depending. I just saw a butcher. Give me a second. This is real trippy, Virgo. I don't even know. Okay, so this, I guess what this is doing is it's kind of it's not blocking isn't the right word. I can't find the words right now. Well, this is the power of healing, but it's also the veiling star. And so there's a veil of death is the challenge. So mourning is the challenge. Maybe death or is challenging for someone. I mean, fuck, I don't know when it's not, when it's blissful. That's pretty rare. Who are on either end of it. But just a sec. This is obviously shadow, so let's choose a shadow card. Get in there. Wood always swells when the seasons are changing. Okay. What do I want to look at? Let's look at this death card. Interesting. We have player and imaginary other. Player and imaginary other. What is going on, Virgo? Well, I guess this is the thing. This seems wider than just you. Bigger than just you. Which for some of you causes sorrow. Somebody obviously also understands the deception of what's happening, or maybe they're even a little suspicious of things at certain times, reclusive perhaps. But they also need to do that to repent for someone needs a place that's protective, or they are okay, I have to show you this card. It's giving me the same vibes as Pisces. Where did it go? Pisces. There. So Pisces had this card. You see how there's this circle? All these fish around it. And you also have this circle with all this energy around it. Is this a portal? Where does this go? I mean, I guess you can fill it in however you want, but it also shows me that there's protection. If you're concerned in ways of the world, the health of the world, whatever agendas, then maybe go to Pisces, because they talked about more about being protected, because again, this feels bigger than you. So maybe it's like generational star energy. I really don't know what's happening here, and it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to go any further than what I can, which is, so I'm going to just leave that alone. Right, didn't we talk about this a few years ago? We're not going to try to make sense of something. If we try a couple times and it doesn't make sense, then leave it alone. It's bigger than you. It's not, I heard for some of you need to know it's not my problem. You know, you gotta put it like that, because your energy is really important. And again, right now you have the power to give abundance and to accumulate wealth, which therefore for you, being your benevolent self, naturally charitous, you will give that out. So I guess what you give also creates great change in other people, whether you believe it or not. This could also be really strong Uranian energy. It's like if you're supposed to tap in, then you do. If you don't, that's okay. But someone here is not trying to, they're not fooled or playing the game. Yeah, forever illness? No way. And that illness being fear? I think not. Okay. I'm gonna say that's that. I love you, Virgo. I hope this was helpful. Sorry, not sorry about that last third. That was weird. All right. I love you. Peace.